Good afternoon. Okay, before I start, I would like to ask just a few questions and to help me understand more about the audience. How many of you have ever been to a stadium to watch a sports match? Show of hands. Good. How many of you have actually watched a sports match on television? Okay, my next question, there'll be prizes. 3 questions. Oops. Okay, the question is, what is his name? You will get a Eurosport Premium. First one? No, hands up first. Okay, the gentleman in his name? Good. You will get a mug from Eurosport. Next one, be quick. What is his name? No, you cannot, from the same company. Next, hands up first. Again, a gentleman. Roger Federer. Okay, the last one, be quick. And I know a lot of ladies is going to scream. What is his name? Okay, that lady in black. Cristiano Ronaldo. Thank you. So we'll pass you the prizes. One premium from Eurosport, one from Channel News Asia, and one from AXN. So the reason I'm asking this is a lot of people say that sport is very male-skewed. But when I ask questions, usually a lot of ladies will understand all these people. Today's sport is very much an entertainment and a lifestyle. So I'm going to talk today about marketing to not just customers. I mean, a lot of us were doing marketing, doing advertising, we talk about customers. But to sports, the customers are fans. And marketing to fans are slightly different. I'm going to share some best practices because we, Aquarius, we are originally a media rep, started as a media rep. We represent brands like Discovery Networks, AXN, Eurosport, New York Times. But of late, in the last 20 months, we've been working very closely with K+, and we've gone to sport. We also represent Eurosport, and then now International Table Tennis Federation. So when we went out meeting clients, and I want to share some best practices, we face usually the same problem, and I hope I can share this with fellow agencies or people in the sports marketing line, especially in countries like Vietnam. And every time, without fail, so now we're talking about marketing to fans rather than just normal customers. The biggest problem whenever we try to approach any sponsorship deal to a local customer, the first question we got asked is, what is the rating? I mean, it's a very common question. And for a lot, the challenge now is a lot of sports, I mean, the rights are sold to pay TV. And not all pay TV, especially in this part of the world, have ratings. So we always get problems, customers asking us, what are the ratings? So it wasn't easy. So what we did was we take a different approach because sports is all about passion. And we really approach more on passion. And it's all about identifying a strategic fit of a sport or of an event or of a sports personality or a team that has a fit with your brand DNA. And then sell them. I mean, rating is important for your ROI, but passion is important. In sports, it's all about passion. So what I'm going to show you in a moment is a short video about how Coca-Cola has done a campaign during the 2010 South Africa World Cup to leverage on this thing called passion. And it's a real example. I mean, we are a small, media rep company, but with K+, we have got some significant successes. I mean, we sold deals for Premier League for 3 seasons, for 1 season, 2 seasons. Quite significant because we're able to convince the clients to say, passion is about all. So the next one is a short video clip. And I think some of you may have heard of a gentleman called Roger Miller, a 42-year-old Cameroon a footballer who made history by scoring 2 goals at the age of 42 against Russia. So, please, a little video here.
An African named Roger Miller celebrated a goal in a way no one had ever seen before, by dancing. After that, goal celebrations went mad.
Take me higher, celebration, it surrounds us, every nation, all around us, sing forever young, singing songs underneath the sun. Let's rejoice in the beautiful game, and together at the end of the day, we all say, when I get older, I will be stronger, they'll call me freedom, just like a waving flag, so wave your flag, now wave your flag, now wave your, when I get older.
So, 20 years later, let's give it up for Roger, the man who showed the world how to celebrate.
Now wave your flag, now wave
So what Coca-Cola did was they ran this campaign for the 2010 World Cup. And this video itself they made in a few versions, English and some other languages. Total combined viewership was only about 3.5 million, which is not huge. But then they ran a subsequent campaign inviting viewers to send in their own video recording of their own celebrations at sporting events. They seen their friends, they recorded some. And those videos sent in by the viewers, achieve about 40 million views. So this is something where a brand, just show some best practices, that they are able to capitalize on this passion. Coca-Cola has done this thing because sports is everything about passion. It's very passionate. And once, they're passionate, they really believe in those brands that are associated with them. So this is one example. And second example I'm going to talk about is, we represent quite a number of media, including news media like New York Times or Channel News Asia. And very often we got clients asking us about what kind of information, what kind of content we should help them to get their brand message in. But specifically for sports marketing, we actually told them it's more than just normal information. We should go into the inspiration part. Because in sports, there's this thing called human factor. You are celebrating success, maybe of an underdog, someone who sell bread on the street side became a world champion, or stories of a champion putting in sacrifices. Recently, last week, I was at Sportel Monaco, and I happened to meet the gentleman from one championship, and he was telling me that how they approach, the way they approach about this whole thing is that they will profile all the world champions, how these guys, underdogs, rise all the way from someone who struggled in life to become a world champion. So these are the human factor where it's very inspirational. So brands who are able to tap on that, you can really leverage your sponsorship more beyond just a logo on the shirt or at the stadium. So this is a campaign by Under Armour. I think some of you has, so it's inspiration, some of you has actually seen this, but I'm going to share this campaign.
It's the last goodbye, I swear. I have no regrets, for the past is behind. Tomorrow reminds me just where.
It's a very simple campaign, but it plays on that part on inspiration, about motivation, because people likes to hear success stories of underdogs, of champions who put in a lot of sacrifices at night. What Michael Phelps has achieved in the daytime is actually all the hard work he did at night. So again, just now I mentioned about the passion. Second was about inspiration. And the third one is very interesting because sports is about belonging. So normally we talk about engaging. So I want to go beyond engaging. It's more about belonging. We are a fan of, say, Roger Federer, or a fan of Manchester United, where Phil was saying was Manchester, another fan. We're a fan of a club, so we feel the sense of belonging, or even a fan of a national team, Vietnam, or at Olympics. So if brands are able to really capitalize on this sense of belonging, this is an opportunity to get full leverage on your sponsorship. And again, it's going to be a campaign by Coca-Cola, which I'm going to share with you. Coca-Cola did something very smart. In Coca-Cola Portugal, they had a campaign, they had a sponsorship for Benfica, and they got a director's box. And how they convert that to let fans use it, to really get the fans to feel a sense of belonging. And it has been a success because they are able to convert sports fans of Benfica, to be fans of Coca-Cola. And once they become your fans, they trust you. They really believe in all the endorsement. So I'm going to show you another short video, my third video.
A Coca-Cola Portugal announcement. Since 2000, Coca-Cola has been an official sponsor of Sport Lisboa e Benfica. The sponsorship has several visual elements, such as banners outside the stadium, advertising panels surrounding the pitch, and a luxury corporate box for employees and partners of Coca-Cola Portugal. Aware that this type of privilege may seem strange to consumers, Coca-Cola Portugal decided to definitely close its corporate box, starting with the match between SL Benfica and FC Porto. Out went all the conventional furniture, and in came the bunk beds. Which means from now on, you can sleep in the Eagle's Nest. If you love Benfica so much that you cannot sleep even for a second before the game, register online to win a night like you've never dreamed of and spend it with 7 friends in the Coca-Cola Door. "24 hours Benfica style. Breakfast included for an unforgettable experience." Apply at coca-cola.pt or at the Sport Lisboa e Benfica Facebook page.
Eu como treinador é que decido quem joga.
The call for players will be out next Wednesday. Hurry up if you want to be the one that turns off the light.
So, I mean, this thing of getting your fans, I mean, converting them to be your fans, the sports fans to be your brand's fans, giving them that sense of belonging is very important because sports is about supporting someone, either a player or a team, a club, or even a country. So just to sum up, I'm sharing just 3 best practices. This is our own experience. I mean, we have been going around trying to sell sponsorships and considerable success in the last 20 months. And very often, the typical kind of question is, give me ratings, give me all this and that. But we tell them, when you come into sports, I mean, obviously, if we do have, we'll provide you. If not, we have to look at those factors which are like passion, like how you leverage. I think leverage is the key word. Leverage on your sponsorship. Typically, I think most leverage, I mean, the experts probably can correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I remember reading somewhere about the South African World Cup. The total sponsorship was about 4 billion US dollars or euro. US dollars, sorry. But the leverage was about 2.5 billion. So typically it's about 60%. So for every dollar you place on sponsorship, the recommendation is you have to put in some leverage. So leveraging on all these factors that can really maximize your sponsorship. So I just want to have some key takeaways just to summarize. And sports is increasingly lifestyle and entertainment. I mean, today, just now when I was asking questions, even though 2 gentlemen put up the hand first, but I saw after that a lot of ladies. I mean, it's lifestyle. People want to go beyond watching the match. You want to know what is behind the scene. You want to interact with the stars. You want to understand the statistics. So I just want to quote, I was at Monaco last week. The president, Tapia, of La Liga. I mean, when he came up and his first introduction was that today La Liga is run like Disney. I mean, it's just like Disney. It's full of entertainment. It's entertainment and lifestyle. So people want all this kind of things. So, and especially with the growth of other devices, of digital media, I think the way to approach sports marketing is just go beyond the typical focus on the match. How you leverage before the event. I mean, if you talk about La Liga or Premier League, it's a 9-month sponsorship. That's great. But if you talk about Olympic sponsorship, once every 4 years. So leverage is the key thing to really maximize your investment. Second point is all about this human factor. So this is where I think brands like SCG are very much into sports. The human factor, the CSR part of it. Because, I mean, of course there are esports coming up. Even esports, you still have people playing. The human factor is key. The success stories of underdogs, the stories about the sacrifices of champions. The third thing is all about passion. Really play on the passion. They are not just normal consumers. We are marketing to fans. We are not just marketing to normal customers. And last but not least, it's an important factor. Just now, I think Phil shared some statistics about TV has actually dropped a little bit in the last 2 years. But I believe generally for sports, they're still doing very well. I mean, still a very mass reach. The last Olympic Games in Rio, I think total viewership was 3.5 billion. Slightly down from the previous one, 4 years ago, I think was 2012. That was 3.6 billion, dropped to 3.5 billion. And on television. For World Cup, the last World Cup, 2016 World Cup, the total viewership was 3.2 billion, of which the final alone was 1 billion. So one thing about sports is this thing called live. Of course, eventually with technology, I believe over the top, OTT, all those, eventually they will have more and more on live. But at this moment, television is still key. It's still important way to reach, very mass reach. Despite the growth of other media, we will probably have to do 360, more media. But at this moment, television is still key. And look at Super Bowl. One spot of commercial at Super Bowl, 30 seconds. It's about $5 million. I mean, people are complaining about HTV or VTV. about what show they say, Go Yao Tam Doi or something like that. Well, about $5,000 per sport. I said, look at US, Super Bowl is 5 million. So TV is still a very important part of sports media. So thank you very much, and this is all my sharing.